Hi everyone, I'm Grant.
I'm Tony. Hi.
This is Tony, and Tony is going to talk to us about Tantra. And as we know, Tony, Tantra is all about sex, isn't it?
Well, that's a myth, actually. And as much as I thought the same thing, thought, oh, Tantra is all about, sex, and more sex, and more sex, and more sex, I very quickly learned that it's only a small component of, sex is only a small component of Tantra. Which at first I was a bit disappointed at. I was like, why am I doing all this? I just want to know what the juicy sex bits are.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that there was going to have to be daily practices and a whole journey and a whole lot of other stuff to unpack for me to get to the promised land, so to speak. I can hand on heart say that Tantra isn't just about sex, but sex is definitely a component of Tantra.
So, what is Tantric sex then? Just a little question. Just a little question.
I mean, the fundamental of what is Tantric sex is about using sex to get closer to God and being in a sexual connection with someone so that you both become God and you raise higher to that God force energy.
Yeah.
And so it's essentially divine being, God together, raising their energy level and their frequency level and getting closer to God is the only way that I can really describe it.
Yeah.
And so there's a beautiful journey as you both work together to get closer and closer to God within. And you both support each other through that process.
So I'm hearing that God seeing God and being in that connected state. Can you share with us one technique that you would recommend to get?
When you're sitting in the presence of a sovereign being, for me, this is one of the most profound pieces that have come out of Tantra and then sex since I've been doing Tantra, is that when I'm in the presence of another being, the presence of a sovereign being, and in my own sovereignty, there is a reverence that comes with that. So it's not rushing it or pushing it or forcing it or having your own agenda. It's about being present with that other person and with yourself. The quickest and easy way to do that is breath. It is the fastest way to get present with somebody. And there's lots of other versions, we've talked about them, breath, sound and movement are the three main ones, but breath with self, breath with another, and then you're moving through that together, and you can breathe at the same time together. Your breath becomes like a unison of one breath. Two sovereign beings, one breath. Moving, and then the Kundalini energy starts to rise, and the energy starts to rise, and then, what is two separate Kundalini energies become entwined and in unison with one.
Yes. Yeah.
Hence the saying, coming closer to God.
Absolutely. So a question I have, and you've mentioned this before in previous videos, that your first sexual experience was not a wonderful experience, not a pleasant experience. How has your practice of Tantra helped you to come to terms with that, or help to transform your understanding of sex?
So if I go back a little bit further, my first sexual experience was self-pleasure and masturbation. And coming from a highly religious background, that was a no-no. And so it was surrounded in guilt and shame. I remember the first time I ejaculated there was so much guilt and shame around it. And then the time I had an interaction, a sexual interaction with another being, it was being raped by two men.
Yeah.
And then what happened from that is I became a sex worker. And so my sexual interactions for many years became transactional and disassociated. And so, you know, there's that cliche saying of, you know, lay back and think of England.
Yeah.
It was literally what I was doing when I was doing all this. And so I was not connected to my body. So what Tantra has helped me do, and it's still a work in progress, I must confess, is actually, if I can't be present with me, I can't be present with that other person. And so Tantra, the biggest lesson that I've learned from Tantra is about my presence with me, how I'm feeling about me, what's going on for me, and once I'm okay with me and present with me, then I can be present with somebody else.
Yep.
And you know, it's that, you know, we laughed about it, you know, that RuPaul saying, if you can't love yourself, you can't love somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the deeper meaning for that is actually true.
Totally. Utterly true.
And, you know, if you can't be with yourself, if you can't sit with yourself, you can't sit with another person.
Yep, I hear you.
And so Tantra has helped me to be able to sit with the fact that my historical reference point is, if, say, if you were me and someone went to come and touch me, my entire body would lock and go into like, oh, yeah, what does this person want?
Yes.
And so the stories I would tell myself is, this person wants to hurt me, this person wants something from me, or I'm in danger. Just from a simple action of that, my entire body would lock up. And so what Tantra has helped me do is to relax into, if someone does that to me, that my body goes, and it's okay. And if it does happen that, you know, I'm in danger or someone's going to hurt me, I respond at that point. But it's historically, you wouldn't even have touched me and my body would have gone into lockdown.
Yeah.
And I would have gone into like panic of like, what's about to happen?
Right.
And so Tantra has helped me to surrender in to my body.
Wow.
And to surrender into being with somebody else, so that I'm not, when I'm having an interaction with someone sexually, that I'm not in that space of flight or fight and wanting to disassociate from my body. And now I'm actually there, present. And it's been a journey, you know. You know, I'm sure there's going to be some men that are listening that have been like, well, I had sex with you and you were not very present. And, you know, it's been a journey. Yeah. You know, and sometimes it's still a journey. Yeah. You know, and depending on where I'm at and how I'm operating, you know.
Do you think it's ever going to finish?
No. No. And
I agree with you.
And for years I thought, if I just do Tantra and if I just learn Tantra, it'll all go away and I'll be fixed.
Yeah. Yep.
And one of the things that my journey has helped me with is like, I no longer need to fix anything because I am perfect as I am. But what I need to do is be present, to breathe, and to be in the moment. And Tantra has taught me that being in the moment and everything else will be okay.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.